What we're going to do is do a short interview with Cassie so you can get to know her a little bit, and then we'll show a few of her films. She'll explain what they are, and then we'll come back for a quick Q&A on those movies, and then we'll get started with her newest project. She's going to do a little preview for us, and then we'll get to the feature, The Right to Love. So to do the interviews, a great friend of mine, a man who's been a friend of the festival all the way through. He's a great writer, journalist, and he knows Cassie's work very well, and he's agreed to come and do the interviews. Mr. Marshall Smith. Please come up, sir. Okay, sir. I think you'll be sitting.
Cassie there?
Yeah. I'll give you the armchair. It's more masculine.
Oh, thank you.
Please
I might need that, right?
This young lady I've known since she was 18 years old. Not that that was that long ago, but she first came to me as an actress. She was a featured player in my movie Cosmic Radio, which you'll be seeing later tonight. And the whole time I was shooting that thing, she was following everyone around on the camera crew. Why is this actress walking around behind us all? But now I realize why. She was doing her first sort of film school on set, which is a good place to learn. She's a very good friend of mine, an amazing filmmaker. She won Best Documentary here in 2010 with her documentary Daddy I Do, which she later took to Cannes Independent, and I'll let her talk about that. My dear friend, a great talented documentary and narrative filmmaker. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Cassie Jaye. And I'll turn it over to Marshall. Have fun, everybody.
And 18 years was a long time, actually. It's been a decade I've known this guy.
Hey, Cassie.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Would you like to see it?
I wanted the masculine chair.
Oh, you want the masculine chair?
No.
No, please.
I'm fine.
So, Cassie and the Idyllwild Independent Film Festival, International Film Festival, is kind of synonymous since you were here from the beginning.
Yes.
And every festival since.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And as Steve said, won with your first documentary here, and then went into Cannes, Independent. And I guess if I had one word, and you and I have talked over all these years to characterize what you do, it's fearless. You are fearless in what you tackle and how you go about what you do. So talk to me a little, since I know your mom's sitting in the front row, about how this has always been a family business, because I remember that was one of the first things you and I discussed years ago.
Yeah, well, I just haven't been able to cut the umbilical cord, apparently. No, I love working with my family. The main reason is I can't fire them, so I have to get along with them. And what happened was I was acting in LA I started when I was 18 in LA, and then around 2007, 2008, the writer's strike happened. I was bored out of my mind not having any work, and I had an unlimited subscription to Blockbuster, which is apparently extinct now. But
not because you subscribed.
No.
Okay.
So I just started in my lonesome apartment, just started watching all these films, and eventually turned to documentaries and just fell in love with the genre. And my mom had, she had photography experience, and I said I wanted to make a documentary, so we bought a HVX 200 and hit the road filming Daddy I Do for a year. And then we're in post-production for a year, and then premiered here at the Idyllwild Festival in 2010. First time, yeah, and won the Best Documentary. Mm-hmm. And it was the first film I ever made, and just the audience's reaction made me believe I could continue doing this. So we went on to go to 10 other festivals and won 6 other Best Documentary awards. And now the film is used in very prestigious universities like Stanford and Yale as an educational film, and it's available on DVD, and it's opened a lot of doors.
Excellent. You and I have talked about this, but in each of your projects, you talk about it being a personal journey, that you may start out at point A with believing a certain number of things, and then when you finish the project, you're somewhere completely different. Can you talk a little about that?
Well, I honestly don't understand the way that some documentarians do it, where they write a script and then they go shoot for that script. We've never made our documentaries like that. We start with an idea, and literally the journey we go on is the film we show. And however it ends up for us is what you're going to see, and we don't plan the message we're going to tell, or if there's any, there's never an agenda behind it. We're just going to go on this journey and let you follow the journey with us. So,
I know we talked with Daddy Idu that you were raised in the abstinence idea, and that your ideas and your points of view change. That's true of each of your films, I believe. Certainly The Red Pill, which you're going to talk about. Are you?
yeah.
All right, good. But not now, at this point?
Oh,
or
I can
would
talk
you like
about
to?
it, yeah.
Okay. Her third documentary, you'll be seeing the second one a little later this afternoon. But her third one, again, is part of her personal journey, and she can talk to you a little about how that came about.
Well, just so you all know, this is the first time I'm talking about my third feature documentary, The Red Pill, and I've been working on it for almost a year. It was conceptualized last March, and I'm really excited to announce it because this is what I've been working away on for the past year and haven't told anyone. So basically, the Red Pill, I'll be showing you a sneak preview right before The Right to Love, and so my history of documentaries I've done, one was called The Story of Goldie Blocks, which will be the first short you see. It's kind of a feminist-leaning short showing how more girls need to get interested in engineering. I've also made Daddy Idu was kind of about reproductive rights and just women's issues and sexuality and sex education. And so I do kind of have a feminist-leaning bent. So The Red Pill is actually me infiltrating something called the men's rights movement. And I first heard about it last March. I was researching something called rape culture, which maybe some of you have heard of, and I was considering it for my next documentary and then realized it was way too depressing. So went away from that, but when I was researching rape culture, I found a website called avoiceformen.com, and they're basically the perpetuators of rape culture. They are the victim blamers that you hear about, and a very extreme men's rights group. So I found it fascinating that there are all these people, men and women, who believed this. And I thought, you know what, I want to explore that and see where this journey leads. And so The Red Pill is me, the feminist, going on this journey looking at the men's rights movement. So.
And if there's one theme that seems to run as a through line through what you do, it's these are not easily digested social issues. They're highly nuanced and often with people diametrically opposed on each side. I was going to ask how you choose your projects, but you've just kind of covered that. Do you know where you're going, or do you just follow the river?
One reason why I've always loved being a documentarian is you get to go on the journey that I would want to regardless of being a filmmaker. So it's an excuse to meet these people I want to meet, hear their stories, and partly I think one of the reasons why I went towards acting when I was younger was because I loved studying characters. I loved understanding why people did the things they did. And that passion actually served me better in documentary filmmaking than acting. So how I choose the films that I do for documentaries is really just what journey do I want to go on next. And Daddy Idu was the exploration of the purity movement because I came out of the purity ball movement and the purity rings. And so that was that journey.
And the right to love.
And the right to love, because I grew up evangelical Christian. And so the right to love was kind of testing my strong-held beliefs when I was growing up and really meeting that was the first family, the LeFew family, and the Right to Love was the first gay couple with kids I ever met in my life, and we spent 2 years filming them. And so every documentary is just an experience I want to have, and I try to make a career out of it too.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to enjoy this. Cassie Jaye and 3 of her short films. Cassie, a pleasure.